Maybe there was a few things which I forgot to explain in the last clip, and that is so that you can show all roses at the same time. Maybe make them look like this, and also that you can go here and click on a side group and then say that you want to see no of to all of the data. You can also, they're still there, but you are not, they're just deactivated here. Okay, but the main purpose of this part was to instead of here that we know that we use this IC, modified IC normal terminal lens model, and maybe it would be better to use observations from a mast. And the way that this is done in WAT is that you combine the estimates of wasp engineering with your measurements at one mast, and then you can see what are the difference speed up by the terrain at the turbine sides, and then make a correction based on both model and observation. So let's go to wasp engineering. And there was a mast in the project here, and the idea is now to generate these observations here, or prediction for this mast. So we'll do this exactly the same, except that we should now use the height of the mast. So we have to edit a new height, say 40 meter, and make sure to select this and only the mast, and then we can go into the WAT launcher tool here, and the idea is to do exactly the same. And this is actually important that we are using the same data, because otherwise you wouldn't know what you were comparing. And we still have to insert a turbine, because in WAT then it's really imported as a dummy turbine site. So you still provide some turbine power curve here, and then you're ready to say OK. I don't think I'll show you this. I have calculated something already. So here we have it's like before, but it's just for this mast side, and it's 40 meter height, and there's only one side here. And then I remember that I should close this Excel file before starting to work with it in WAT, because Excel tends to block other programs from reading open files. So now we go into WAT, and then we'll try to import these data here, and I know that this was a file name, and it's still asking for a turbine. You just give them something information, and yes, it doesn't matter so much, but let's just click it correctly. And then it says, do you want to merge these new data with the data you have in your open project? And we click yes here. That way you could also merge information. For instance, if you have two turbines in the project, then you, with different hop heights, then you could run the wasp engineering calculations for one hop height and later on for the other one. So here I got this new dummy turbine site, and where it is, it's here in a group called mast here, and now I have to do something a little bit special. It was a way to program it without coordinating too much with the wasp engineering programmer, and so then he wouldn't have to make changes in that program. So I say I create a turbulence intensity reference site here, and then it's asking for data from this site, and there are two ways. Either you can load a pre-calculated statistics file, or you can calculate it from time series. The pre-calculated statistics files, it looks like this, or actually you could both have it in Excel and text format. but the general idea is the same, that you have a table of mean turbulence intensities as function as wind sector and wind speed. And so you have these data here. Actually, it's not really data, it's just something which I have had made some fake data here, because at this site we didn't have reference or standard deviation of wind speed in the database. But then we have the mean turbulence intensities and also the standard deviation. So you need it in this way we can get the scatter of the natural variation of turbulence intensity in different 10-minute periods. And we also need the number of observations here. Typically you have missing observations at high wind speeds. So this is the format of this statistics file, which I'm now loading into watch. Try to find it. Yeah, here it is. And now we can go here and click at this side here. So you have the model here, and then this was the statistics I loaded, and you can see that it's a little bit different. So if we click here on this list here, then we can see the statistics for different sectors, and we also note that some of the data here, they are extrapolated because data were missing. And we can actually control the way that these data are extrapolated. So if you click here on extrapolation options, and I also want to enlarge it a little so we can see better. Then here we have, let's go to the first sector. It's doing some extrapolation here, and it has this threshold level here for the minimum wind speed which it's using, and you can increase this, and then note that this fitted model will change a little. You can also, if for instance you think that this count here, that's not so many data, then you can increase this bin count number to something larger, then you avoid this too. And then when you make these choices, and I think you should do that for every case you have, it's difficult to make universal decisions, because for instance, it depends on how high wind speeds do you have at the site where you are analyzing. So you make these choices here, and then you can copy them to all sectors if you to save time. But I think at least you should go through them and check that this extrapolation here looks reasonable. You can make different choices, like here that you can have a trend in the time series, but I wouldn't recommend to accept one where the trend is going down. And it's mainly intended for offshore projects where you typically have an increase in turbulence intensity at higher wind speeds as the water surface gets rougher. But for land sites, then I would not try to make this correction here. You can also say that you want to use this model here, not only where it's extrapolated, but for all the data here, to avoid strange effects just at a single wind speed. So of course what matters is this combined resolution here, and this would be what it look like, and then you have with the observations and the normal model here. And you can make a comparison here. Now This was just a dummy site here. We should drag this mast in here to make it represent the turbine sides. And you simply do this, you click on it and then drag it to the turbine group where you want to apply the corrections. And you can also go here and select the final theme here. Then you can see that now this mast is making corrections for all the turbine sides. And then of course you should this dummy turbine side here is no longer needed, so we will just remove everything here. Say OK. Sometimes in big projects you might have more than one mast, and maybe you would have this is only correcting some of the sides, and you have maybe another mast where you could make corrections based on that mast. So for that purpose you can split the side group, and you right click on the group and then say split side group here. Then you get this dialog here. You can select some of the side and move it to a subgroup. You could also, if you uncheck here, then you can make it 2 subgroups. So I'll do this, and the reference mast is still applied to all the sides because there are no. It's looking upwards in the hierarchy. But if I then drag it here to the second group, then it's only making corrections for this group.